Oh, wait, we're good? Crap, I'm not ready. Talking potassium acetate.
Would you run that on corn?
Corn and beans. I like beans. So yes, normally I have really low potassium levels, potassium and zinc, and this is the first year. Last year was a little better. This year we implemented potassium acetate heavy. We actually moved our timing up with our melted urea, boron, moly, fulvic. Right, dude, I'm telling you, the first sign of a tassel, right before, just right there, it's like, okay, tassel, plain, go. And we saw the best tissue levels we've had.
Really?
Mm-hmm. By far. We're not talking about a little bit, by far. Our grain fill has been really good. I mean, you saw some of the grain fills yesterday.
Yeah.
And then, what was I talking about? What were we talking about? Sorry. Total squirrel brain. Potassium acetate. Yep. Zinc. That's what I was talking about. Yes. Thank you, Alex.
That is something we need to work on, I think.
Zinc. So I ran zinc in furrow.
Yep.
Was having some mixing issues with some other stuff, so I'm going to try to move zinc to my strip till.
I see.
And keep it there and then leave my tank. I'm going more fertility in the strip till, biology and biology enhancers in the, I shouldn't say biology, a biology focused in furrow.
Yep.
That's kind of the approach I'm taking going into next year so far, because man, I truly think after a lot of the learning I've done this summer is the micros that we use are, and Johnny talks about this, the micros are the keys to the macros. We put NPK down, but we don't talk about their sister nutrients.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's very important, because we'll put NPK in the soil, in the strip, or in the furrow, and it never fails. We sometimes see deficiencies, depends on the year. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But I think I have become increasingly aware to the importance of having the correct micros and the correct ratios, promoting the correct growth hormones in the plants at the times, try not to focus on just NPK, but and then increasing efficiency.
Right.
Like if we have nickel cobalt, does that help with XYZ? Yep. So if we have those promoted in the soil, do we need as much of the macros?
Yeah.
And I think that is absolutely a tremendous asset going into 2026, where commodity prices are not great. And I'm like, man, really fortunate to be, Singular Network to be included in, a lot of conversations where guys are really, really tuning in on things that work well on their operations and their farms. Guys are still able to pencil a profit, may not be very much,
right?
But guys are still able to do it.
Yep.
Anyway, you just Joe Rogan to me. You just let me right in and hit the record button. I assume we're recording. All right, Kirk. Okay, so back at you here. Importance of carbon as a base when deciding fertility and crop planting. This is from Tall Drink of Water.
Good old Mason.
Oh, Mason.
Yep.
Tell you what, I love all 7 foot of that man.
Dude, when I first met him, he was bringing product down. Don't even remember what.
Yep.
But he got out of the pickup, and I go, "Oh my God, that dude is tall."
You just kind of start. You just looking up. You're like, "Dang, son."
Yep.
I love that guy. Anyway, so importance of carbon, because we ended the last podcast with the carbon has become the base of your guys' program.
Yeah, it's pretty much everything.
Talk about that.
The most important thing.
How'd you get there? How do you implement that?
Well, it's just limiting factor is water. If you have more carbon, you can hold more water. I mean, simple as that, really. And you can do it. You can grow a better crop at a lower input too. I mean, just feeding the biology with the carbon.
So some people are going to say, well, why don't you cover crop?
Well, we do,
A little bit.
but
What is your greatest risk? I know the answer to this. What's your greatest risk of having cover crops in the West?
well, using up the water. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
And
But,
man, people
and
will say,
also,
this is going to piss people off. I already know this is going to piss some people off. So if you're real touchy about cover crops, just skip a few minutes. People say, well, diverse cover crop mix will hold more water, culture more water.
nah, I mean, it's a growing crop. I mean,
It pulls water.
it pulls water, yeah.
Yeah.
Now it can.
Can it create an environment that does hold more water when
Absolutely.
you
And
get
that's-
water? Yes.
I'd rather have a cover crop out there than ground sift and blow.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, if a ground
Because if it doesn't grow, if it doesn't make anything, the cover crop, you're out the cost of seed.
yeah.
So you're not. It's not like you've got a ton of money in this thing.
Well, and if you have ground blow, that's automatically at the very least 30 bushels gone, and also your weed control's gone. That's the place the weeds are going to grow.
okay, 30 bushel gone. How do you mean?
Just 30 bushel off of your crop, whatever crop it is, wheat, corn, milo.
If dirt's blowing around.
Yeah, it's bad.
Okay.
So, number one rule is just keep the ground from blowing. That's hard. That's easier said than done. Trust me.
Yep.
But anything we just I would love to do some strip till.
Sure.
Can't do it. It's gonna blow.
Strip till will blow.
Oh yeah.
Really?
I mean, on dry land, yeah. On our soils, absolutely. It won't blow on irrigated, but that's got a little higher residue content, a little bit different. So you can water it to keep it from blowing.
Okay.
So yeah, I would love to do a little bit of strip till, but it's just not going to happen. I see it. A neighbor, he's actually gone full in on it, and boy, it'll get going on his hilltops, but he's making it work. It seems like for right now. We'll see if he sticks with it, but
Okay. Carbon.
yeah. So basically, we just kind of knew we had on that field of corn there. So, and another thing, like when we say no nitrogen on that, like soil applied nitrogen,
I should say very little.
there's a big correlation of corn population and nitrogen needs. Like everybody's going to talk about you need this much nitrogen to raise this many bushels.
Right.
I'm looking at more as
Amen.
it's you need, if you're planting this population, then you're gonna have to bump up some nitrogen. But if you're low like us, I should have showed you this spot on another field. I had a little mess up with the planter,
Okay.
and I thought I was on my 90-degree line. I wasn't. It was a little bit of an angle. So I planted, and I was like, shoot, I'm going off in this weird direction. So I switched it back, turned my section control off on just like this, 30-foot bit, and I just planted straight through it. So, there's 26,000 out there in that spot on dry land. Absolutely horrible nitrogen deficient.
Okay.
And the rest of the field is awesome.
Man, I'm going to go on a micro rant here.
Yep.
Because that is all we talk about as farmers is I raise this many bushel per acre on this many pounds of nitrogen. We talk about the end result. We don't talk about the beginning result. It's like, what if you had X many thousand seeds per pounds of nitrogen? What if there was a ratio? And maybe there's a ratio out there. Probably is.
There might be, but I haven't seen it, and I haven't researched it enough really. So, and I put my money where my mouth is on that because up on my circle, I'm normally planting 30,000. This year I dropped it way back at 25.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, I should be able to get away with less nitrogen and still raise decent corn. I'm putting 150 pounds on. That was soil applied, split applied with urea, but
looks good. We're just out
boy,
at
it was perfect. I mean, no nitrogen deficiency out there.
Healthy plants.
So,
healthy plants.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what if it was like, okay, for every 1,000 seeds I drop on corn, I need, I don't know, just literally pulling this number out of thin air, 10 pounds. So if you're dropping 12,000, 120 pounds in, now I know that's not accurate because there's guys in the West raising 100 bushel wheat or 100 bushel corn on, sub 10 pounds.
Yep.
On if the climate's right.
Yep.
I know guys that are raising, out in Tennessee, 260 corn on, I think 150 pounds in.
Well, I will say, wheat's a little bit different animal, but at the same time, in 2021, it was a great wheat year. We grew field averages of wheat over 100 that had 50 pounds of N streamed on.
Sure.
So.
Sure. Anyway, man, that's a whole side tangent.
Oh, it is.
We got so much more to get through. But any more on carbon?
No, it just holds more water, more oxygen. That's the biggest return on yield that we see. I mean.
And humics. Yeah,
Yep.
Just to clarify, we are talking humics
Yep.
here.
Yep.
Alex has become a bigger fan of humics.
Yep.
It was fun talking to your dad just about carbon.
Well, so kind of when we were just trying to figure out a bunch of stuff out at that point, but in 2019, just had a bunch of yellow corn on sandy hilltops and stunted plants horribly. And that they had good nitrogen amounts on it, so we're thinking, it just leached, we're nitrogen deficient, but it just went anaerobic. That's all it was anaerobic soil, had no oxygen in it, ground wasn't functioning at all, and that's what we got. When we started running a little bit of humic with our N back then, we're like, oh wow, there's some we're seeing a pretty big response on those spots doing that. We're like, okay, we're actually holding the nitrogen in place, right? That was the initial thought. Well, now we're still not putting in on those spots, and we're putting more humic on there, and we're seeing a bigger response now.
Talk to me about humic and milo.
Well,
or carbon and milo. We'll just say carbon and milo. Let's shift from corn over to milo because dude, we got to clip through some of these. Don't cut short. Don't cut short for time's sake. But the first podcast burned up really fast, and we didn't even get to the list of questions that Mason sent over or the other stuff that we wanted to talk about. We haven't even talked about Claas combines yet.
We got to make time for that.
We do.
But yeah, so this is our first year putting the dry humic on the milo. And well, I shouldn't say that. We've used other dry humics, but at a lot lower rates because it costs so much.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought they did all right, I guess, Not going to say it was mind-blowing, but this year we're running Singular's dry humic, and we're putting on, instead of 8 pounds, 30. I did 50 on my irrigated circle, but but yeah, up on my sand where I didn't get any rain through, since it was planted all the way through 1st of August. I mean, I just thought that milo was done. But, it come up. I'll always have these hilltops that are stunted, yellow, messed up. Look, you just drive by on the road, you think, indeficiency, bad farmer type deal,
Sure.
It's like, what can I do to fix that? And putting on humic at the higher rate. I mean, I really didn't have any of those spots. I mean, sure, now that it didn't get any rain, it's all stressed out. Yeah, they're not going to put a big head on. But hell, I got it to put something out there. It made something, and the plants are actually green and healthy. Sure, the bottom half, the leaves burned up, but it didn't rain, so there's nothing I can really do about that.
Right.
But what I have out there is not a stunted little yellow plant. If it had gotten rain, it would have made pretty good milo out there.
Yeah, just the fact that it grew something and the conditions that are out there is wild.
Yeah, I mean, that one field, it might still make 50. That's an average crop, and it got no rain when it was trying to head.
Sure.
It was just, I couldn't believe that, really.
Sure. All right, anything else on carbon?
Oh, I don't know. We're just going to see now using it on the wheat crop again. Some fields, this will be the second year of it, so we'll be really interested to see what that does.
Sure.
See if it can build more.
Oxygen is a limiting factor. I should have warned you about these.
You should have sent me that list.
Yeah. Number 2, oxygen is a limiting factor in low yield environment.
Yeah. Well,
It kind of builds off carbon.
Yeah, kind of what we talked about, really.
Oh, Christopher, you're supposed to go inside, buddy. Pause. Pause. Bogey, you're supposed to be inside. What are you doing? Can you come get Christopher, please? Say hi, Mom. Hi, Mama. Yeah. Are you there? Christopher must have gone to lunch. Yes. Can you come get him, please? Yes, I'm coming. Thank you. Bye, Buggy. Shut it. Push hard. Slam it hard. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Ready, Kirk? All right. Intermission to talk to the 2-year-old. And we're back. Oxygen.
Yeah.
In low yield environment. Oh, shoot. That's Snapchat. There's my notes. Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, it's just those stunted yellow plants that we were looking at. It just pushed all the oxygen out because it didn't have enough carbon.
Do you think that overuse of nitrogen depletes carbon and oxygen?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know your dad. I mean, I knew the answer to that going in, but I want to kick that conversation.
And really, if you're going to put nitrogen out, the best way to do it is when that crop's growing or right before you're putting it in. I really believe if you're putting it out there and letting it sit over winter, I think that's really not great. But I don't know. That's just something I've seen, and really just to get more efficiency out of your nitrogen. I mean, in crop. I mean, it's just, and a little bit goes a longer way, it seems like. So
right.
But yeah.
Okay. How to survive low grain prices in a low yield environment.
Don't spend money.
That's really what it comes down to.
Just focus on what you can control. And that, I feel like we did a really good job about that this year. And really, until July got hot and dry, we were feeling really good because we'd go work, we got the rain. Well, let's go plant the corn. Got the corn planted, got the chemical on, got a little rain. We're like, perfect. Any planter mistake, and it wasn't, these rains weren't big. They were just half inch to an inch. Just, that's great.
Sure.
If you get a 3-inch rain, it can.
That's worse.
It can really.
That's worse than no. That's worse than no rain.
I wouldn't go that far.
Over here, I would. I absolutely would here.
But yeah, that's. And then we go do a little bit more work. Man, this young corn needs a little rain here to really get the roots going again. Boom, got a little rain. It's perfect.
How do you balance? I mean, I'm putting you in the category as a young guy. Raising big corn is intriguing, and it's fun.
Yes. How
do you balance trying? Because as farmers, man, we only get so many rounds at this.
Yep.
So, and we, hopefully we're all aware of that. But how do you balance? Okay, I've got this many crops left. I would love to hit, say, 300 bushels of corn.
Yeah.
Irrigated, or I don't know, 200 dry land, whatever.
Well,
how do you balance that with reality in your environment that you live in? Okay, guys, real quick, we've got a blog and a newsletter. A lot of people don't know that.
Yes, and a bunch of great information, trying to be timely, how that fits throughout that year of agriculture, that we know there's different thoughts going through our heads during different seasons.
We have different people write it. We've got people from all over the United States, different walks of life that have really cool perspectives that brings so much value as a whole. And you guys can find these. It's at singularagronomics.com under, I believe it's the media portion or blogs. There's a whole blog. There's a blogs link.
Yes.
There's a blogs link. Check out the link in the description. I'm serious. That's probably, I enjoy reading those so much just because you hear from so many cool people that are really, we have someone new write it every month.
Well, yeah, and it's a quick read.
It is.
It's a quick read. Head to the website.
Yeah, check it out.
Well, when I first started farming, I wanted to do that. But the reality is Dad has only hit that one time. He made a circle average 306 in 2009 or 2010 or something.
Oh, wow.
And that was with a hybrid that he really trusted. He'd grown it for years, a lot of water then. And that was that same field's dry land now. It became dry land last summer. Not near as productive ground, dry land.
Sure.
So that's a hard goal to attain on our soils, our water. And I tried to shoot for it, and I mean, it wasn't even coming close. I haven't even hit 250 up there. So realizing that, and that's 2021 was the last good irrigated corn year we had, and I got 2 different hailstorms up on my circle, and Dad was cutting 270 average on his. So I'm like, I'm just, there's no point. It should be this year. I really turned the page. I don't know if that's just I've gotten a little bit older, more experienced, more mature, whatever. But I'm like, I just want max ROI. That's all I care about. I'll just make some money while this irrigation is still here, and I'm guaranteed, decent crops. But I'm not even going to worry about going for those higher yields. And I really realized that no matter what you do to that ground, really, it's going to yield what it's going to yield. From what I've seen, like I could do 34,000. That low ground is going to yield the same as it would if I drop 25, 28, whatever. That hilltop's going to yield the same. So that's kind of what I've seen.
I mean, our inputs are the number one thing we can manage.
Yeah. And it's going to look a little bit different at 25 versus 34. The year's going to be bigger on the 25.
I thought it'll look better.
But I really like the lower pops up there, the stalk quality. I've got stalks twice the size.
Sure.
I mean, I like seeing that.
I mean, I think that's something that's helped us because, Tricepta, what's the other, Viptera? Is that the other? Those are green snap tolerant, or green snap not tolerant. Those seem.
I don't believe that at all.
Really?
I don't believe that at all.
Okay.
We had a Tricepta that was from DeKalb that was an absolute stud.
Okay.
And never had any green snap issues at all. And we've had more trouble with like Vipteras, or not Vipteras, Double Pros.
Okay. So this might lead into why. Here's the thing. Like they absolutely do green snap more in certain environments.
Okay.
You think about, a lot of the places that they're planted that they have wind damage, it's higher pop. Usually more fertility. And so I personally believe, at least on my farm, we still plant. Man, we had some 80 mile an hour winds this spring or this summer, and our Triceptas did not green snap. But I feel like the more intentional we've gotten with our population decisions and our nitrogen management, and promoting good roots, has really taken away a lot of those risks. Now, I'm not telling guys, test this on your own. Absolutely, don't.
Yeah.
This is my farm that I'm talking about. But I mean, it's like if we drop our population back a little bit, keep a good flex in the genetic lineup, be strategic with our nitrogen, build really healthy, heavy plants.
Yep.
It's not as big of a problem.
We've been through some crazy wind events.
Oh, you guys get it like no other.
And
everyone talks about derecho. You guys get derecho every year.
yeah, it's just normal.
That's just normal life.
But the thing is, I mean, it's literally taking hail to cut the stalk, to actually snap it.
Yes.
I mean, the wind, I mean, who cares anymore? We just don't see it anymore. We actually did have some problems 10 years ago or so. And, I mean, no matter what hybrid it is, doesn't matter what traits it's got, it just doesn't green snap.
Gotcha.
So, I don't know. That's just something we've noticed. And I feel like the foliars really help with that. They change that plant 1,000%.
Okay. So, I agree. 100. I absolutely agree.
I did a foliar. The first time I did a foliar was 2018, my first year on some corn, and I did on this one field. I did split it in half. Leaves look completely different. Same hybrid, same field, everything. Like it just one side got the foliar, one side didn't.
We ran a rescue this spring. Melted urea.
Yep.
That was the other one. So we ran melted urea, potassium acetate, fulvic, reproductive kelp, and sugar, right at the first sign of tassel. And I have a neighbor. I called him. I custom harvest his corn for him. Anyway, and he plants it, lines up the spraying, the fertilizer. I just roll in and cut it for him. And this corn was like, this guy's a good friend of mine, so I can just straight. This corn looked rough, really rough. He'd front loaded his in, dry spread, VT'd it, planted the corn. Stand was great, got a great stand of corn, and it looked great until we got 22 inches of rain.
Oh my god!
And
that's my annual rainfall, by the way, average.
Yeah, we got it in 2 weeks.
Haven't even gotten that last.
Heathman texted me, and we've gotten 6 inches in the last 48 hours here.
Jeez,
I know.
That's crazy.
I know. And anyway, so man, this corn I'm not kidding, it was yellow, straight yellow.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, I asked him, I was like, this corn's too big to top dress with any of the rigs that we have access to locally. I'm like, man, we've got to do something for this corn. He's like, I agree. I was like, this thing's going to run out of gas. Yep. It's already running out of gas. And so we hit it heavy with melted urea, that whole blend, upped the melted urea. And 24 hours later, I drove by and I'm like, oh my gosh, like night and day. And then I drove by 48 hours later from application, and it looked like all the other corn around that was more managed, I would say. Dude, that was absolutely inspiring. It's cool when you do something that you know works.
Yes.
But you see the extremes that can help something too. Because oftentimes when most guys that are running foliars, a lot of times are already more management-minded people. And so you're already running a foliar on probably a pretty well-managed crop. You're not the instances that you're running a foliar as a rescue program are less than, hey, this is a good crop. We tend to feed a good crop.
Yep.
And the tougher crops in lower markets, we go, we're watching things more. But this was I don't know if this is going to make it. Now, did the corn finish as strong as everything else? No. But it finished.
Yep.
And that was absolutely inspiring. It's like to see something that you knew worked, you believed in, something you use on your farm, go somewhere else and really pull someone out of a bad spot, the crop out of a bad spot.
Well, I know in 2024, we had an 80-acre wheat patch that was looking good. All of a sudden, lime green. We're like, whoa, what happened there? And none of our other fields did that. And we put on some melted urea on it. And the next day, actually a few interesting things happened, but on the next day, it was back to normal. I mean, it literally reversed it instantly, which I don't expect that to happen all the time. I really don't know why it did it there.
Sure.
But
there are some instances with foliars we can't explain it.
Yeah, we were like, whoa, that was what a dramatic change. And it also sped it up insanely fast. Like, it just, once we put that on, it was just going. It headed through dry, and it was just going compared to the neighbors. I think we harvested like 10 days, 2 weeks sooner than all the neighbors, which that was a little bit concerning. But we were like, hey, on this ground, this 50 bushel wheat crop is pretty good, so we'll take it.
Yeah.
And then the landlord came back and they said, hey, that field beat my other tenant's field by like 7 bushel. We're like, really? Because they look like they had really good wheat. And I was just kind of shocked by that. So I don't know. I like landlords like that to really, they let you know. I mean, they'll be blunt with you if you suck.
Yeah. Sure.
Or if you did good. So
Right.
That really helped it. Like having a third party that, you know, has no idea what you're doing. They're just looking at the final results.
Exactly.
That's a really good confidence booster.
It is, man, and we haven't even talked landlords and landlord
Which we don't have
relationships.
very many, so I can't
Sure.
really speak on that a whole lot.
I've got a couple. I've got a couple that are very, very numbers minded.
Those are the best. My dad has said those are the absolute best.
I enjoy them.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they rub farmers wrong because farmers feel like they're questioning a management decision when they really just want to know why you're doing, like, why are we running this foliar pass?
Yep.
This is I think our all in with the plain, the acetate, the urea, the fulvic, the sugar, I think we're $30 an acre with the plain.
Yep.
Which is you do a couple hundred acres, you're looking at a decent check to write. If you're on a share crop, your landowner's like, whoa, that's a bill.
Yeah, and that's what we are. We're all share cropped.
Yeah. Yep. And so explain to them, this is what we're doing. This is what we're promoting. This is, hey, I pulled our upfront back or our strip till back. We're seeing better response here. Those are the ones, man, that they're asking good questions. And now, sure, dude, there are some really crummy landowners out there. There's some really crummy farmers out there that really, it's be a little slower to think to get defensive and look at this from a business management perspective, because a lot of times landowners, if they're absentee, they haven't even seen the crop.
Yep.
They don't know what you're looking at. They're just getting bills. And did you do a good job of communicating to them, hey, this is where we're at. This is the stage. The crop is looking like this. This is the stage set up. Without telling them that, they have no context.
Yep.
They just see bills rolling in.
Oh yeah.
And if it isn't in line with something you did last year, they're like, what's going on? What are we doing here? Anyway, I don't know. So that's my little side tangent, I guess, on keeping lines of communication open with your landowners.
Yep.
Some of them require it. I've got some landowners that, I can go do any application. They don't question it.
Yep.
And I have some other landowners that, like, I need to have my reason ready for why we're doing this. Yep. And I have my relationships with those, I would say, are stronger than, I don't know. I have strong relationships in both.
Right.
But that's just, I'm focusing on the relationship side of things. Like down ag market, I have one landowner, he goes, I gave him his crop inputs bill this year. And he's like, well, we'll see if we made any money this year. This is a landowner I actually struggle with.
Yep.
And I'm sitting here, I'm like, I don't market your grain.
Yeah.
Like my job is to raise you a low cost, high ending yield and managing and taking care of your land.
Yep.
That is my job description. How you market your grain is up to you.
Yep.
And I told him that, and it was a little ballsy, like, okay, he might get pretty upset here. And he did. He got a little flustered, but then he's like, I guess you're right. Yep. I was like, yeah, dude, I want you to be as profitable as you possibly can on these acres. 100%. Yep. I want to be as profitable as I can.
Exactly.
I'm like,
yep.
And I said, here's the thing, man. He and I are on a 60-40 crop share. And I go, you gotta remember, any application I'm doing, I'm covering the majority of,
Yep.
or the larger portion. You're covering the smaller portion. I said, do you think I'm going to do an application that I think I'm going to lose money on my 60%? He's like, well, no. Okay, man. Like, I'm not doing this just spending your dollars.
Yep.
Like, we're in this together here. If I didn't think this is worth it, I wouldn't take the bigger chunk of this.
Yep.
But anyway, all right. Claas combines. Melted urea, real quick.
Yep.
Don't run me through like the trade secrets, but guys, I mean, is it worth doing on your own? What infrastructure does it take? What are some realistic? I'm gonna have a guest on that makes melted urea.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
pretty big scale.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have him on, but on the farm, like, what does that look like a little bit?
Well, we just have a triple pack tank set up that we got full of water, and then we just have the co-op tender truck with a load of urea come in and dump it in the top of the tank, and we got the pumps running,
Okay.
mix it up, and there's some math involved in all of that, but that's what we do. It's pretty simple.
Is it hard to dissolve it?
It takes a while, but it's not really hard to dissolve it, I would say.
Do you need heated water?
You don't want cold water. You don't
Okay.
need heated water.
Don't run water
yeah.
out of a hydrant straight in and try to mix it.
Right. Yeah. Go slow when you're augering it in.
Okay.
But that's what we do anyway. Right or wrong, I don't know. It seems to work pretty good. So.
Yeah. I'm not, dude. Of all the people, I'm not questioning your foliar
Yeah.
decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And we'll throw some humic in there and all that. So.
Seems like that's a pretty popular thing because you got salt.
Yeah.
You got salt and melted urea.
And you do need some sort of screens for it because there's a lot of junk in that urea. So
Sure. Got it. All right, man. Claas combines.
dude, best combine ever made.
Battle lines have been drawn.
Yep.
Tell me about Claas What you used to run? Tell me, because you were talking to Bean about this.
So we've been all.
Why'd you go Claas? Because that's not just a shift from red to green.
No.
That's from green to like something.
So the whole
foreign.
backstory is, I mean, we had been John Deere forever. The first combine I remember was we had a brand new 9600 combine. That was pretty groundbreaking for the farm, it seemed like, and it didn't cost an arm and a leg, obviously. So I remember that. Then we got a 9650 John Deere used. That was fine. Then we got a 9760. So then we were running two combines. Then we had two 9760s. Then we wanted to go to one big combine. So we got a John Deere 680. Then we went to a John Deere 780. And the 680 was really disappointing because the rethresher, I mean, just nightmares and weeds or any adverse crop conditions. You were either had a dirty sample or you were plugging your rethresher. It was bad. So, and it was hogging the fuel. Like you had to be covering acres when you were running it. So we were like, well, they redesigned the shoe on the 780. Let's give that a shot. We're like, yeah, it definitely was a big upgrade. I'm not gonna lie, it was, but it still wasn't there for performance, especially in wheat. Wheat's a big one. Like there's storms coming all the time during wheat harvest. Typically decent amount of wheat acres. You got plenty of other jobs to do during that time.
Sure.
Just get wheat harvest done. So when I was a kid, I always noticed these Lexion videos on YouTube. I was a big YouTube guy. Still kind of am, but to a lesser extent. And I'm like,
Alex is on Twitter, by the way.
I am, yeah.
You are a Twitterverse master.
But all these YouTube videos, like the Claas always had the bigger head, and I'm like, what is it about these things that make them special? And I don't know. I just kind of got obsessed with them as a kid. and not that, I don't know, it just like seemed like all of the bigger headers were on them. Like they were the first ones to have like 16-row corn heads, it seemed like, out there. Then they did that world record corn harvest in 2010. I'm like, these things just must be crazy or something, you know. But, you know, we didn't have a dealer nearby, whatever. But then they come out with their new models. So the green and white machines, the 8,000 series, 7,000 series. And we're like, man, we kind of need to take a look at them, because now I know some guys that have been running them, talked with them. They're like, dude, these things are great. So, and really what sets them apart is the TerraTrax. It's just amazing ride through the field, stability, just unbelievable. And then their threshing mechanism, completely different. Conventional cylinder for an aggressive thresh on that wheat, but then all that separation with the dual rotors that are almost 14 foot long, massive sieves. I mean,
Oh, they're huge.
unbelievable sieve area. And then another thing was they got like they call it a turbine fan versus like a scroll fan, I think is what Deere runs, or it used to run. So you're just pumping out so much more air through there for that capacity. So we're like, okay, we need a demo one. So they bring out a 7400, which is their baby, smallest, APS hybrid they make. And so we got it out, and man, in the heat of the day, it was pushing the Deere, which our Deere was a Class 8. That's Lexion was a Class 6. We're like, now there was a little bit of a difference, 40-foot head on the Deere, 35-foot on the Lexion. So there was a little bit of a difference, but not much. And we're like, man, this thing's keeping up. Both machines in the heat of the day doing pretty good on losses. And then we moved to a different field, high-yielding field of wheat, and the sun went down, and I had the cruise control going on the Claas, and it never slowed down. And the loss sensors never spiked. And I'm like, what in the hell is this? Mm-hmm. I mean, mind instantly blown. Same fuel burn. I mean, it's getting humid, damp, wet out. I just couldn't believe it. And my dad's over there like, dude, I got to slow down. And I got out, looked behind him. I'm like, dude, you are tossing, like you have a trail of grain coming out. You need to slow way down. So that's when I start lapping my dad just every round. And it's like, this is unbelievable. Like, sample never changed. I just couldn't believe it. And then when we would change wheat varieties, didn't have to change any settings on the Claas. Good sample typically all the time. Deere, you completely start over, completely reset all the settings on it, trying to get the best sample. And any little thing would throw the Deere off. I mean, it and we had known that for years, why we hated it, in wheat. And so, yeah, and that was a record wheat crop. We needed 2 machines, so that was a good time to demo it. And my dad, we got late one night, wanted to finish this high-yielding circle. He's sitting on the road in his pickup just watching me go racing back and forth in 100-bushel wheat, and that Deere's just crawling along, just burning fuel, tossing. And I've got a picture up on Twitter. It's from 2021, so it's a ways back, but you can see the volunteer line from the Deere versus the Claas. It ain't even close. So fuel burns half. I mean, add that all up, it's no-brainer. So bought the first new combine since that 9600 was a Claas 8700. Wanted to go a size bigger just to cover the acres and stay at one machine, and boy, it's been good. It's been good to us.
It's a completely different engineered machine. We were crawling around that thing the other day out at your place, and there's a lot different.
And another thing is service on it. So there's a few grease circs you grease manually, but it's getting greased constantly while you're running, bearings are hot. I mean, with the auto greaser. So, I mean, that's massive. You don't have any daily zerks to go after.
Sure.
So, I mean, there's a lot of little things. There's a couple things that I don't like, which I don't really remember until I'm actually in it, you know, type of thing. But it's just a damn good combine. I mean, it's been reliable. We haven't put a whole lot of hours on it just because it's been really ever since we got it. It's been kind of tough out there, which kind of
hasn't been
sucks.
stuff to cut.
But I mean, in irrigated corn, like good irrigated corn, you can do 7,000 bushel an hour all day long, easy, no problem, no sweat, no effort. Can't feel the tracks, the sprinkler tracks, because of the Terra tracks. I mean, it just kills your grain cart. It's hell on a grain cart.
Yeah.
But yeah, holds 510 bushels, so you're just unloading less, hopefully in a better spot in the field. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way, but
right,
unloads super quick. I'd say maybe the biggest problem with it is a really aggressive threshing machine, so you can crack grain. You got to be careful there.
But it can also knock a tough grain out of a head.
Oh yeah, and honestly, like people think, you know, we're just out in the West. We're pretty dry, pretty easy threshing crops, and for the most part, yeah. But there's a lot of times where that extra thresh really, really helps.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty incredible. So,
Milo.
Yep.
Tell me about Milo. People love hearing about Milo on this podcast.
Well,
such a foreign crop for a lot of the listeners. Not all of them, obviously. Some we get quite a few listeners that do raise Milo.
Yeah.
But tell me.
I used to not like it very much, but I've got a new respect for it the past several years because that's been the most consistent thing we can grow. Like last year, we had Milo in the boot, about to pop the head out. It got completely just cut off at the, root ball because of hail. And it came back and made 80.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, if we had our main head, it'd be over 100. I had no doubt in my mind. But the fact that it could do that, I really wrote it off. I had been told, don't worry about it. I'm like, dude, have you seen this? I've seen hailed on Milo come back. I haven't seen it come back from that.
Yeah, beat to flat ground.
Beat all the way to the ground. Nothing left of it. And it come back. It just retillered and it come back. Now there was some stuff that did the same thing and it only made like 45.
Right.
But that ground got beat to hell. I mean, that was rough. And the weeds come in. That was the biggest thing. The weeds come in after it got all, we had them squashed down under the canopy. Then they just exploded again. But yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it's tough, extremely tough.
How do you factor? I know we talked about it's tough to figure out what you're going to plant necessarily based on the year you guys are going to, what the weather's lining up to be. But how have you implemented Milo in? Because when I was out, man, you guys got a lot of Milo.
We do.
You got a lot of Milo.
This is the most Milo we've had in a long time.
That's a lot of freaking Milo.
Yeah.
But have you implemented that more as a constant because of it's so rugged?
So I mean, we've just been hailed out the past 2 years. Milo's the only thing that's done anything because of it. So we're like, it's just what we're going to grow. I mean, we've got profile. Most of the ground's in okay shape, but not great shape because of the last several years. That's just, we're going to plant and drill some Milo, and that's just what we're going to do. And that's just kind of, and when everybody else is planting a whole bunch of corn, and they go a lot earlier, and it looks great. It makes you kind of doubt, but what you're doing. But right now, I mean, it looks great, and it's really a Milo year. I mean, there's not a bad field of Milo around. So
no, it all looked good. And there's corn out there. Some corn looked okay.
Yep.
Some corn looked terrible.
Yeah. I think you got to go further west or south to get into some really still good, healthy dryland corn.
Right.
But our little area, man, it really kind of fell off the past 2 or 3 weeks. I really thought they were going to grow 150 bushel corn. I don't think they're going. They might in spots, but not near us. I don't think.
Yeah. Right. Anything else on Milo?
It's just, I don't know. It'll just root deep and handles the heat. And so another thing about that is it can handle higher pops. So we're doing 30 to 45,000, a little bit higher if drilled. So that is one thing we're kind of playing around if that is going to help our little soil health thing we got going on.
Just get more roots going.
More roots, more plants.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I don't know. We'll see.
And the last thing I have on my list before we got to wrap this one up is flex and corn.
Yeah.
Last night you said you planted a field of 15,000 popcorn and seen the yield monitor go over 200.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Almost 300.
So
Just short of 300.
talk to me a little bit about flex, because you brought your population down from 30 to 25 on your circle, on irrigated, and trying to maximize bushels per thousand and kernel size, and then improving plant stock strength.
Yep.
And then on top of that, less nutrients to raise because you have less mouths to feed. How, I guess, talk to me. I don't think corn flex gets enough talk in the industry.
I think it's starting to.
Oh, I think it is.
I mean, it's
price of seed.
well,
You know.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
But I think that's where like Western Kansas is ahead of everybody else.
It
Just
is.
because we've dropped these low pops for years and we've seen some crazy things.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of where I kind of got a little bit. I'm not going to say I'm famous on Twitter, but that's where I got a ton of followers. Is from showing that flex off in like 2020 when we had an amazing corn year.
Talk to me about that flex in that year.
Well, it's just we had a lot of doubles that year. So we had a big fat ear with our favorite hybrid that's no longer available, which, come on, DeKalb, figure it out. But they're never going to live that down with me. But
That's fine.
we had just 2 honking ears out there on that hybrid. And
At 15,000.
yeah, so we did variable rate that year on a lot
Okay.
of it, 11 to 15,000.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we were going over 250 in a lot of spots in our low bottoms at 15,000. And then I had that one field where that was a Golden Harvest hybrid. And it's a bit of a, what you call it, Jekyll and Hyde or whatever. Because some years it does what it did, and then other years it just goes over its skis, burns up. But what it did there was made a main stalk, put 2 ears on the main stalk, and then I had 2 tillers that were the same size as the main stalk, and it put an ear on each one of those, like a legitimate ear. And
Wow.
so I had 4 ears of plant at 15,000. But when I cut it with all those tillers, it looked like 34,000 or something like that, you know. And I got it to 290. I couldn't get it over 300
Bummer.
at 15,000.
Bummer.
I was really hoping to see 300.
Bummer.
Yeah. I mean, that's what opened my eyes. Like, that had 50 pounds of N on it, soil applied, maybe a foliar. I can't remember if I put a foliar that year, but
Jeez.
like that does not, like 2 + 2 does not equal 4.
I was going to say, that
there,
math doesn't work, right?
So,
like that is not
yeah.
possible. But that is wild.
yeah.
That's wild. I just, man, I always get inspired. I've been to the west, been to the north, been out traveling a lot this summer. Everybody's like, "What's your takeaway?" I'm like, man, I'm going into this fall feeling inspired. Really am.
Yep.
Just looking at so many people out there doing so many cool things, and it's not, I'm hearing a lot more ROI based conversations, which is relieving.
Yep.
There's still the conversations about yield. And do you need to raise more bushels to offset lower prices? Yes. I mean, you do.
Well, and I just want to say that there is I really hate Twitter right now because everybody's whining. Like, everybody's in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and I've done my share of complaining. Like, I get it. But it's like, I got on there for looking at solutions, cool ideas, all of that. I'm like, so what if you're in a bad spot? Like, what are we going to do about it? I'd rather that's my mindset, and that's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear about the whining and prices and and all of that.
We're well aware
Like,
prices
I mean,
aren't
it's
good.
just-
We know that.
yeah,
We know
yeah.
that. What guys need to do is take the lessons they learned when prices were good that help cover the things that didn't work
Yep.
and show the things that did work and implement those into lower prices.
Yep.
Like, dude,
and then there's nothing worse than a guy that I know he's got an excellent crop out there. He's gotten good weather. He's got good management, and then he still complains. I'm like, dude, please.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. And there's nothing wrong with getting frustrated.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with being bummed about current situation.
Yep.
But
Oh yeah, like,
man, your attitude can just help so much.
like
and you never know who it might help.
I mean, I sulk around. I mean, I
Sure.
get mad, frustrated, whatever. But like, and to me, that's kind of healthy. Like you kind of need to do that.
Yeah.
But don't ever like just stay there and whine and cry about it.
I mean, imagine if we had not had the surge in prices from 20 to 23.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
I might be off in my year range there a little bit. Imagine if we had not had that spike, and corn had stayed $2 and $3, and beans at 10, or $8. I mean, sold some beans in the 8s. Imagine if we had not had that rise. What did that rise allow you to do and capitalize on? What allow you to learn?
Well, and I will say we didn't really capitalize on that at all because that's kind of where we couldn't grow a thing, and that's kind of what I'd rather take a good crop and low prices every day.
Sure.
I mean, that's just land's easier to manage that way.
It is.
I mean, it's maybe harder to make good money, but I can't grow a crop when the prices are good, so it doesn't matter to me.
I was going to say the price doesn't determine the crop
Yep.
that you end up cutting.
Yep.
Someone's going to murder me on social media for saying that, but I mean, really, it's.
I mean, that
$5 corn, $3 corn. If you're managing for the crop itself
Yep.
for bushels, like
and
you
that's
said,
where-
control the controllables.
That's where, like, from 14, like when Dad was just killing it, from 14 to 2021 or whatever, like the prices really weren't that crazy. They weren't that great through there, I don't
Right.
think. And yet, farm was doing great.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. That's part 2.
Is that it?
I assume so. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming east. Thank
Yeah.
you for farming in the West. Thank you for farming how you do in the West. Dude,
That's all I know.
I love the West. I really do. I had the opportunity to go hunting in West Texas out in the Panhandle a couple of times, and a lot of those old country western songs, the old ones, about the cowboys and this and that, and driving on the ranges. Man, you watch a West Texas or a Western sunset, there is legitimately something to it.
Yeah.
There is something very unique about the West that, like, if you just look at it, yeah, man, there ain't much out there.
Yeah.
Brush or sand or.
Thank God there's not much out there. I mean,
I mean, think how many people there'd be if it was beautiful.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it has its own unique beauty to it.
Yep.
I will absolutely attest to that. There's something that draws you out there. Something that's like, man, there's something about it.
Yep.
But that old saying, "Go west, young man." It's the West has always been an intriguement to, I don't know, North America at least.
Right.
I mean, Genghis Khan went west, but he couldn't really go more east. He was at the ocean. But anyway, yeah, it's cool. So keep it up, dude. Lord of Kelp. It was fun. It was good. It was fun to have you on.
Yeah.
Dude, we're knocking. Combines are starting to roll across the Midwest.
Yeah.
We're about there ourselves, and so yeah.
It won't be too long for us. So.
What would you? I try to end the podcast. I dropped this one on Eric without any warning. I'm doing the same cruel thing to you. What would you tell? Obviously, we're not old men by any stretch of the imagination. We're young guys. What would you tell young Alex now? If you could have one phone call and have rerun it. Hey, young myself, this is something I want you to know and take note of going into the future.
Well, so I've always been really into equipment, and I'd be like, just don't worry about that yet.
Okay.
Chill out a little bit, figure it out, and deal with the equipment a little bit later. Of course, I don't know. There's double-edged sword of that. Equipment's outrageous right now.
It is.
It might be coming down some now, maybe, hopefully, but I don't know. Maybe focus on of course, I don't know. Those investments are pretty good right now, so. But yeah, that's probably what I'd say.
Less sheet metal worship.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
cool. All right. Well, that's a wrap, man.
yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, dude.
It's been awesome.
It's
That farm tour.
Yesterday,
Yeah, crazy.
we went for a loop around the woo, as Bean would call it.
Yeah.
I don't know how many miles we drove. Probably drove 90 miles yesterday.
Really?
I bet so. Just back roading it through Heathman's country.
I
and
don't
Bean.
know how to explain how different it is.
It's
just
different.
So different.
Yeah, Bean just all of a sudden hits the brake. There's an artesian well. We're out in the middle
Yeah.
of nowhere, and there's just a well with a cup hanging off a fence clip.
Yep.
If you need a drink, you can stop and get a drink there at the artesian well out in the middle of nowhere.
Hilarious. Like Heathman goes, lived out here my whole life, haven't seen it until now. Like,
I'd never known about that
That's crazy to
artesian
me.
well. Yeah, but yet Bean, that's a whole. He's like, yeah, that's the well.
drives this road all the time and with a hauling hay.
Hauling hay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got down into Beanville.
Yep.
And looked at those
He's
crops.
gonna let me fish that pond, right?
Oh, I imagine so. If it wasn't raining today, we could probably go.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's a neat set of country. Everywhere is cool if you know where to look.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere's cool if you know where to look. So, anyway, if you're into farming, it's hard to get bored.
Oh yeah.
There's something everywhere.
Yeah.
So cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you,
Guys. Like and subscribe. Check out the website. Everything else. I don't know what else the nerds want me to say, but is that anything else, Kirk? Merch? New merch drop? All right, that's on the website too. Check it out under the merch tab. Got some cool swag in there. But anyway, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Be safe this fall. Take your time. Just be careful. Get home alive at night, and enjoy this harvest season, because you never know, man. It might be our last. You never know. Don't take it for granted. You never know. So, over and out. Guys, thanks for watching the content so far. If you would like to see more, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got all the full-length podcasts, other video information, tutorials on there. Also on all the major podcast platforms and social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc. So if you like this, go ahead and check more out on all those platforms.